I've gone from 0 to 7 figures online without ads, without sales calls, and without selling my soul. Let's get one thing straight though, before I get into exactly how I did this. If you've got a skill, a story, a transformation that you've gone through, start by actually allowing yourself to imagine what your life would look like when you're already printing a fuck ton of money, when you've already got complete financial freedom, autonomy in all areas, and a real purpose-fueled mission, business that you actually wake up for every single day. Look, let's keep it real. Your heart has known all along that your duty as a man was to wake up early, drink coffee, eat steak, lift weights, get strong, get valuable, give all that value back to the world and print money in a vehicle that actually provides complete autonomy. And off the back of all that, ensure your woman never has to stress again and ever go and work for another fucking man. But without that brutal honesty and clear image, you will always remain stuck in your current reality. You have to live from the end. What I'm about to show you guys, you most likely already know, it's not theory. It's not some bullshit from a textbook you see all these simps in their smelly little bedrooms preaching with no results. It's not a little gay trend or a gay funnel hack. This is the exact path I walked that gives me this life. You see guys, I was broke, training clients outside my house on the side of the road in the snow, in the freezing cold, in this little square that I'd gritted with 2 homemade dumbbells that me and my dad had made in the factory, 2 pieces of steel welded onto a shaft, and a Reebok little plastic step-up bench that I'd taken home from one of the studios. Those little things that girls do step-ups on, but they actually fold into a little bench. To now, building a 7-figure online business where I can do whatever the fuck I want at all times. And that's the test of what a true man really is, isn't it? Number 1, are they able to truly do what they want at all times? And 2, how do the women in their life treat them? But that's always going to be a byproduct of how well a man has mastered the first. Besides that though, that's another story. I did all of this with no team, no cold DMs, no chasing strangers, just extreme clarity, extreme intention, and now a very precise system that actually allows other people to get the highest level results through who I've become, not just generic coaching. And I'd imagine you, like myself a few years back, and now at the point where you really want to build this business properly, you want to scale it once and for all, you want to start building your own economy, as opposed to being another one of these coaching clones in the rat race of coaches where they're all saying the same shit as everybody else and they're all struggling, they're all hating their own business even though they got into this industry in the first place because they wanted to do what they loved for a living. What I will say though, when it actually comes to building one of these businesses properly, is it's very comforting and reassuring knowing that you don't actually need to go viral. You don't actually need to make all of this cringy content anymore. You don't need to sit on Zoom consults, on sales calls with low frequency people who don't even know who you are. They don't even want what you have, and you're trying to force them into something that they're not going to buy anyway. You don't have to do all of this in order to make fuck you money. In fact, not doing all of these things is the only route to making fuck you money and having the real impact you want to have anyway. This definitely isn't for everybody though, guys. It's for the type of guy that wants to move boldly, he wants to leave a big fucking mark, a big impact, and knows already deep in his heart that he wants to serve something much greater than himself. He's not just here to make a bit of a sum of money and trade his time for it and be another one of those guys in the rat race. He really wants to leave a mark. Like, I've known now for some time, guys, that God works through us. I'm here to do God's work and give back. And if you feel the same way, guys, then I'd pay attention. Because I'm going to show you guys exactly what changed for me. And once you see it, the simplicity of it, the alignment that comes from it, the results that come as a byproduct from it, you'll no doubt feel a strong pull towards building your business in that way. And in fact, it's the only way to succeed if you really want to have that level of impact with your brand. So let's rewind, guys. Like I said, I was training people on the side of the road at the very start. I'd quit my job in engineering in the middle of COVID. I had no backup plan, no degree. I had no PT qualification at the time. I just had £1,300 in my bank account. I just had a strong desire that I knew I was the only person that could make this work and no one was going to come and open that gate for me. A couple of days after I'd quit my job, I'd invested $1,000 back into a PT qualification, got that done in a couple of weeks. And then I'd gone and got myself a job for the start of January 2021. And this was crazy because I went in, I think it was January the 5th, and I had no clients, no reputation. I was brand new, just qualified. And I go into the gym on the second day thinking, right, this is the day I'm going to start actually speaking to people, start building this up. And by the way, guys, for context, I'd already had an argument virtually every single day with my parents telling me I should go get a normal job, go be an accountant, go back into engineering. They thought I was stupid. And I go in on the 6th and I look up at the screen and I see the red banner coming across and it says lockdown again, gym shut. And I was like, oh my God, I've shot myself in the foot here. And that was the hustle me. I had to come home from the gym. I took home one of those Reebok benches. I already had 2 homemade dumbbells I'd made for myself at home anyway. And that was the start. I was training people on the side of the road. I was posting stories on Instagram, just hustle mode. Like I really found out who I were and made it happen in that moment. And from those years from there, obviously lockdown went away. I went into the gym. I became one of the best coaches in the space, but I was trading time for money. I was earning 10, 15 grand a month. And I realized that money was not what I wanted. I thought initially money was going to be freedom. Money was not freedom. I realized that I was still working 4 till 10. I had money. I could go buy the brand new BMW Black Pack. I could go to flannels, shopping, buying designer clothes every day, thinking that that would make me feel the way I wanted to feel. And it really didn't. So the years after that, until 2022, I basically transitioned full-time online. I dropped everything again. I jumped out the plane with no parachute. And essentially, I ditched all the PT clients. I sent them to the other coaches in the gym. I was like, there you go, there's a blessing. And I built my business thinking that, right, location freedom is going to be what real freedom is. Built my business up, doing it the typical coaching way, just giving value, just giving tips. And I got myself to the point where I could move to Dubai, right? Like I said, this was back in 2021, 2022. And I moved away. And then I had a very high but low point. I moved away. I'd just broken up with a girlfriend at the time so I could go and follow my dreams and have this location freedom. And I moved away, and literally within 2 days, I was like, this isn't it. I still don't feel the way I want to feel. I can live wherever I want now in the world, and it still sucks. And I realized that my business, again, I was trading time for money. I was sat on all these Zoom calls, doing stuff I didn't want to do on sales calls. I was making all this cringy content. There was a day when I was in the gym and we were filming this stuff, and we all had this mentor, and we were all there filming the same stuff. I was like, this isn't a business. This is death. This is suicide. This is cringe. And I was like, I'm out of alignment from my soul. This was the point, guys, where I realized freedom was alignment. Freedom wasn't location freedom. So I'd realized money weren't freedom, location freedom weren't freedom, and alignment. Building your business, being who you want to be, being authentic, and building a brand that actually scales and means you have a lifestyle. That's what we wanted, right? Do what you do, and do what you love, and have a lifestyle that comes with it, have autonomy. And that's where I scrapped everything again. I burnt my business to the floor, making a lot of money, but that weren't everything. And I went in and invested in myself and made it happen the right way. Over those last years now, guys, I've invested hundreds of thousands back into my education. I've worked the 16-hour days every single day, iterating and going into other industries, finding people that have already accomplished the sort of life I want to live, and bringing it back into the coaching space. And that's now exactly what I've built, guys, and that's what I'm going to show you. I've boiled it down into an 8-step framework, and I'm going to run you guys through it now so you can literally just copy exactly how I run and operate my business and what my clients use as well. And I want you to understand, guys, this 8-step process I'm going to walk you through, it's a complete new way of thinking. It's a new dimension. It's a different level of consciousness for the coaching industry. And those guys who adopt it are going to completely wipe out all of these coaching clones, hands down, in the next 12 to 24 months. There is no question. The first part, guys, is you and your story. You don't have a niche anymore. You don't have any of this gay, I help entrepreneurs get in shape eating their favorite foods, including a Twix bar, and all this gay shit, right? You extract who the fuck you are. Your scars, your story, your skills, your shift, your unique process that shows literally, I used to be here and now I'm here. These are all the side effects. These are all the pain points that came with who I used to be. And these are all the benefits, all the derivative desires that your audience has that you are already a living, breathing, walking outcome of, right? This allows you in your marketing to speak directly to the person you want to help, which leads into the next thing, which is your offers, because your offers need to be built around the start position of where they are and the end position. And your story should also link up with that, guys. So just let yourself become more and more aware of all these powerful moments you had, the shifts you had, because that's what the world buys. That's what they want. They want the outcomes that you are already living and breathing. They don't want this stupid, cringy content. This is how we do a bicep curl. And they don't want your certificates and your skills. They want you. They want to relate with you. They want to relate with where you were, and they want to understand exactly how you got to where they want to be. The second thing, once we've got you and your story absolutely bulletproof, we need to master your offers. You're not here now to sell coaching anymore. You're here to sell / always replace sell with help others achieve the outcomes that you're already living and breathing. That's it in its simplest terms. Now, I teach my guys the 2-step offer system, which is all built around one core offer, one core set of derivative desires that my audience wants to achieve. And then we break that up into 2 parts. One offer is going to be scalable by volume, and the second part is going to be scalable by price. Most coaches shoot themselves in the feet because they have one offer which doesn't scale by price or by volume, and that's why they're just not able to grow and they don't realize it. I actually said to some of the clients on my Brand 2.0 call yesterday, one good real frame question, you may have heard me say this before, guys, like what would need to be true? Think about this. I said to them, what would need to be true in order for your current offers to be 100 times more scalable, but also 1,000 times more valuable? Like, how can you create an offer or set of offers that are 100 times more scalable, because you need that if you want to have an impact on the world, but also 1,000 times more valuable? That's as well how you're going to have impact. You need impact with width, and you need impact with height. Once you've got your offers nailed, you need to get traffic. You need to get eyeballs. So you don't do this by posting tips anymore, guys. You don't post this by trying to go viral. You post with a new dimension of intention and consciousness. Me and my clients use the social media marketing flywheel that I created, right? Where essentially we master the 2 most high leverage platforms that any coach can use, which is going to be YouTube and Instagram. And we understand a deep level of psychology and strategy behind all of that at the highest level, which speaks directly to buyer traffic, people who are ready to buy and people who actually want the outcomes that your offer can help them fulfill. Not just some viral eyes, guys. 99% of guys who post tips and 99% of guys who try and go viral and have millions of followers, they're all broke as fuck. I've worked with them. I've helped them actually build a real business. Every piece of content that you guys now create, the outcome has to be designed before you even create the video or piece of content itself. Most coaches just post something for virality or to give a tip out they think might be helpful, and they just sit back and they have no idea where their next clients are coming from. I operate with science. I operate and what I do, I know exactly what's going to happen after the video before I've even made it. And you'll be very surprised, guys, how many people actually inbound you and want to work with you when you've got your content set up this way, instead of just saying something that your audience has already heard 5,000 other times from 5,000 other coaches. Then we've got lead flow. So people coming to you. Strangers don't need to book a call anymore, guys. They're already warmed up. They're ready to buy before you even speak to them because of your content that's been crafted in a very specific way beforehand. And also you've got sales assets which are going to do the heavy lifting, like your VSL, like your landing page, and a few other assets that we'll have built out for you. Now, I teach my guys the 1, 2, 3 method. These are the 3 ways in which you're going to have this buyer traffic come at you so you can actually get into a sales process with people wanting to work with you every single day without you having to go and chase them. And I want you to think about this, guys. Every single guy I work with came to me. They were ready to buy. They wanted the outcomes I can help them with. They were a perfect fit. They're also a fucking G. I love speaking with every single one of them. That was no accident. You know, that was a very precise system in order to do that. And if you want that, you want to be building and operating within a business that you love, with clients that you love, with people coming at you every day, you can't think and operate like the normal coach out there who is chasing people around, posting absolute bullshit everyone's already heard. The 5th thing then, guys, is a sales process. Once we've got leads, it's like, how do we actually bring them into a program and work with us? Now, I use sell by chat and sell by sleep. These are the 2 methods that I use personally in my brands and also teach all of my clients. Like I said, they're ready to buy. They don't need calls. This is mapped out like a science, guys, from you, your story, your offers, your lead flow, all the heavy lifting. Like, we close between this offer setup and between the lead flow, we close 80%, me and my clients, 80% of all leads that come through. Like, the industry standard for an elite closer in sales is 30%. We close 80% between the 2-step offer stack. It's a different dimension, guys. It's a complete different way of thinking. I actually had a client this morning send me this. He joined Brand 2.0 earlier in the week. And he just sent me this screenshot. I'm going to show it you guys briefly. I'm going to read it out. He put, when you used to say you woke up with Stripe payments, I thought you were talking shit. Probably because I was stuck on sales calls thinking it was the only way to sell. And he sent me a screenshot of two guys subscribing in Instagram DMs. And he put, now I'm waking up to Stripe payments, $1,000 in his sleep. Guys, people will buy from you just from watching you when you've built this system correctly. Last week, there was a day where I made $38,000, none of which was actually even sell by chat. This is another dimension of advancement in itself. Again, I teach it my clients, but this was simply just with a precise strategy through my social media, through the flywheel, and then an online checkout sales page. $38,000 in a single day. Sell by chat and sell by sleep is the only way you guys should be doing it. And if you want to have real impact, this is how you scale. You can't be wasting time on sales calls, doing something you don't like, giving commission away if you've got closers. You need to be actually creating high leverage content and giving away more impact and onboarding people much faster. The sixth part then, guys, is value delivery. Once we've brought them in, we've sold them, we've got them in on the offer, we now have to deliver them something which is going to get them a result better than anyone else in the industry. And the first thing I want you to think about, guys, is you can't scale chaos. You must install systems that protect your time but guarantee results for every single client that comes in. Like I said with the offers earlier, one offer must scale by volume but be a better result than everybody else. Again, a different way of thinking that I teach my clients. And one offer that scales by price, so the impact is vertical, not through width. Like I said, most guys just have one offer which doesn't do either. I teach my guys two offers, two value delivery mechanisms that get results better than everybody and actually scale and deliver massive impact, guys. The seventh part of the framework, guys, is Ascension. This is where effectively your business is going to build itself. We stack offers and effectively it's your back end. So you're actually giving your clients who are already in your business an opportunity to work with you at an even higher level and get even more value than they initially came for. Or think about it like this. Once you solve one problem for a client, the outcome of that will create a new problem. It's just the way the world works, guys. So if you help them get one outcome, they've now got a new problem. You then help them solve that problem. This is really important, guys, and effectively that means you're giving your clients more value, so a higher lifetime value. But if you're giving them more value, you're going to be receiving more value back. This is really the magic on the top of the cake, which is really going to help you get to 7 figures and beyond once you've done everything else perfectly. The final step is how I tie it all together for my clients. So it's the blueprint, how we actually get all of this done. So forget hustling on daily tasks, forget watching all these YouTube videos and trying to learn something and trying to implement it and then running back and doing all this stupid shit, wasting your time. This is a very calculated movement of extreme high leverage growth tasks boiled into a daily blueprint and a weekly blueprint. So all of my clients understand that this is what they've got to do on a daily basis, whether they're in a 9 to 5 and trying to get out, this is where their time must go to move at the fastest pace. And these are the exact actions. Or if they're already full-time online as a coach and they're trying to get to 50, 100K a month, well, this is exactly how their tasks need to be set up. And this is the exact blueprint. So behind the blueprint, we have such a high level of consciousness on how we execute it, but it's all boiled down into extremely simple, actionable steps they can all take every single day and week. And look, guys, if you don't have that, you don't have that clarity in your own business, the world feels that through you. So when you lack clarity, your audience will be thinking, this guy doesn't really know what he's doing. This guy's just posting the same shit as everybody else, right? But then your audience want clarity from you. And if they feel like you don't even have clarity in yourself, you're not getting results for yourself with your own life, why would they invest in you? People invest in people that invest in themselves. If you want to be a real leader, guys, you have to be a great leader of yourself and invest in yourself at the highest level. Think about this with the military. One thing I always say to my clients is if you want to be a great leader, if you're going into war the next day and you've got 100 troops behind you and you're like, oh guys, I think we should leave at 9 and hopefully we don't get shot. Or the next guy's like, I know exactly what I'm doing. I've mapped this out perfectly. I've got an exact strategy that I know works. We're going to leave at 7:01. We're going to fuck them up the arse. We're going to flank right. We're going to kill them. We'll be back at home and the fucking chicks have made cake by 12. You want to follow that guy. You want to listen to that guy. You want to invest in that guy. So invest in your own clarity, guys. So that's the framework, guys. That's the exact step-by-step process that I went through to go from 0 to 7 figures and actually have a business that I love, that has real impact, and also allows my clients to do the exact same thing. And right now, guys, the market's shifting. People don't just trust value content anymore. They don't just trust tips and tricks and all this fake hype. They want truth. They want depth. They want authority. They want real stuff from you. And the coaches who master this game, guys, the authority, the authenticity, really building your personal brand correctly, these guys are going to wipe the floor with every coach who is trying to do it the old way. They're trying to play yesterday's game. You know, the old way of marketing, I promise you guys, will be obsolete. All these coaches that are just doing the bicep curls and they're just saying tips and tricks on how to track your macros, they're gonna be obsolete in the next 24 months. I promise you, at the latest. So here's your moment, guys. Option one, keep doing what you're doing. You know, more burnout, more disalignment from your soul, a business that doesn't even feel like yours. Maybe 10 grand a month, 15 grand a month, if you're lucky. But every single day you grow, it feels further away from the life you even wanted. Or option two, you build your personal brand correctly, you operate from truth and authenticity, you build your own economy, and you step into a brand that actually leads men, impacts the world, and actually allows you to fulfill the best career on the planet, which is self-transcendence and working with the exact people you want, but also print a fucking lifestyle for yourself. So guys, click the link in the description below. Watch the blueprint. If you're ready to really scale your brand and get past 50 grand a month and actually have the impact you want, have the business that is truly aligned to your soul, you want to get out the rat race of coaches, you know what to do. And also guys, once you're inside, you'll also have the opportunity to chat with me one-on-one on WhatsApp, and we can understand exactly where you are and map out your exact next steps to building the business that you want, not the one that everybody else has. That is when you have mastered life, guys. Speak soon, brother, and I'll chat to you inside. Let's go.